Yo, what's good, boys? We haven't done one of these videos in a minute, but we're going to do a bit of a psychology talk today, talking about how you can handle losses in trading, okay? Obviously, losses suck. We all go through them in trading. But if you do not learn how to take a loss correctly, you will never become profitable. So, this is a very important video. So, first route you go down is you lose due to you not following your rules and because you're an emotional trader, right? A lot of you know how this feels exactly. So, the first route from this route is that you lose it all and go absolutely ballistic, right? You lose it and you start to full port, you start to enter into a bunch of trades that you have no clue what's going to happen, and you blow money, you gain absolutely nothing, and you ruin your mental going into the next day and the next day and the next day, right? It's a continuous cycle. You're not trading off of logic. You're not trading off of the model that you've back tested. You're not trading off the model that you have experience in, but you're just entering into random trades, or you see something that looks decent after you take your loss. And you're like, okay, let me just full port this. And you go all in, right? You don't gain anything. All you're doing is just blowing money. You're blowing money. And you're not getting yourself anywhere closer to profitability. All you are doing is digging yourself deeper into the hole every single trade that you take at that point. Okay, and the second route that you can go from, okay, I messed up today, I was being an emotional trader, and I FOMO'd, I full ported when I wasn't supposed to, all these different things. And you learn to suck it up, and you learn from your lesson and improve and go on to your next day with better understanding and a better mental, standpoint. Okay, so the first part of this is that you learn to control yourself. When you're able to go through this where, you crashed out and you ended up taking a really bad trade that you knew was bad and you were being an emotional trader, but you stopped yourself after that first loss, right? Or after that second loss, whatever your, guidelines are and your rules are, okay? That leads to you learning how to control yourself in these scenarios where that it's tempting you. Your mind is tempting you. Just enter into the trade. You got to get the money back. You got to get the money back, or you're going to end up the day negative. You're going to end up the day red. Okay. When you learn to actually handle how to take losses correctly and be able to control yourself, that is when you're going to make the most progress, right? And it also improves discipline, obviously, and it improves mental clarity going into the next day, right? If you lose it all, again, and you go ballistic, you go nuts, and you start to take stupid trades, you start to FOMO or revenge trade, do you really think after you're going to go fully out and you're going to, blow multiple accounts, for no reason, just because you can't control yourself, you're going to go into the next day saying, oh, today's going to be a good day, I'm going to be patient, I'm going to wait for good setups? No, you're not. You're not going to be doing that. You're going to be in that same mental state, and if you're not in that same mental state, you're just like one small thing off, right? That just ticks you off and you just lose it, right? It's like a trigger, right? And I've never really faced anything other than FOMO trading. And even with my FOMO, it's not extremely severe, so I can't really say anything about that. But I know how it kind of, I know through experience and talking to people how it kind of feels. It's like a trigger. If something happens, you just immediately snap. Okay, you lose it all. So this was a trade that I ended up FOMOing into about a month and a half ago. And pretty much price was really, really slow. It was really, really dead. And I was just looking for a trade to take. And what I did was I zoomed in super, super far and just completely blinded myself to the fact that price was just dead. And I was just wanting to hop in a trade and actually cooked myself. So that's just an example right there. All right, so now going on to the second route, right? You have a statistical loss. You took a trade that you were confident in and that you followed your system, but it just lost. Okay, it happens, bro. We don't have 100% win rate models. No matter how cool or scientific your, power of three, hourly power of three, quant theory, all this stuff, no matter how crazy it seems, you cannot ever have a 100% win rate. Okay, I'm sorry, it's just how it works, bro. You're not gonna have a 100% win rate. So you're going to take losses. You're going to take statistical losses where your model, it played out, it looked nice, but it just lost. It literally just lost. It's just a part of the game, okay? So you have two routes you can go this way when this happens, right? You can crash out for absolutely no reason, okay? You blow money, you can easily go on to the next day with a fresh mindset saying, okay, I took a statistical loss, right? My model's profitable long term. I could take this loss and go on to tomorrow, and if I have a high win rate model, low R, which is what I have, I'm probably going to win tomorrow or the next day. It's that simple. You could easily go on to the next day and avoid just blowing money for no reason when you know that your model works out and you know that you have the patience the majority of the time to take good trades and actually win trades, right, with your model. You have the confidence, right? Second thing it does is it puts a crack in your mental, bro. You're starting off with a bad habit. You already have your model down and you're taking statistical losses that happen every now and then, right? It happens. It's a part of it. Okay, but when you start revenge trading and you get all into this, when you have a profit model and you know how to trade it well, you're just putting a crack in your mental for everything to start just deteriorating. For your mental just to become just lost completely over time. Third thing is that it begins bad habits when you're already on a good streak. You're already on a good streak of following your rules every single day. You're already on a good streak of, most likely, if your model's profitable, actually becoming profitable. You're actually winning trades consistently. Right? And you're just going to let one loss, you're going to let one statistical loss that it wasn't even caused because you crashed out, you FOMO'd or whatever. It was simply because it was just a part of the market. It was literally just a part of the market. It happens. And you just started that bad habit and you can start to spiral down, going forth, right? You could just take that one loss, take that one FOMO trade, and it just ruin you. It happens. And the last thing is that you easily move on. This is the last choice and the best choice. You move on and you understand that what you did was right. It doesn't matter if your trade was right, what you did after the fact that you lost, you were right. Okay? It builds an immense amount of discipline to understand, that I can always come back tomorrow. My model works well and I can come back tomorrow, bro. Like, this is why I've never really struggled with, revenge trading and this and that, or even when I take a loss. Dude, I cannot tell you one time that I've taken a loss and actually stayed on. I have never revenge traded. And it's because I've always understood that there is a tomorrow. There is a tomorrow. There is no need in rushing this process, bro. This is day trading. It's hard. There's not many people that will make it. It's hard. It's not easy. So if you're able to detach yourself from your feelings in the current moment and to back up away from the screen and realize the best thing for me right now would be for me to get off, go outside, enjoy my day, go work on something else, go work on my other business, and enjoy my day. Once you actually begin to understand that, that's when you can that's when you can be able to detach yourself from losses, okay? Because you start to build that discipline to understand there is no point in me just going all out right now. I've been winning every single day. I've been consistent. I've been consistent with my psychology. I've been consistent with my winning trades. The model's playing out well. Right now, if I take this loss because I want to get back in, I want a revenge trade, it's going to lead me nowhere. It's going to lead me nowhere. It's just going to push you back even further, right? So the second thing is that you become happy when you are able to learn from a good loss, bro. Like this loss, for example, and I'll go over this right in a second. This loss, for example, this is a trade that I was genuinely happy. I lost. And same thing with yesterday. I ended up taking a loss in over 2 weeks of not taking a loss, just wins. I finally learned, I was like, bro, this is how you're supposed to take a loss. Genuinely, I felt good when I took the loss. It sucked, yeah, right? But I was genuinely happy that I was able to take that loss and have that learning experience, right? So the third thing is that you didn't lose that much in the grand scheme of things. If you're profitable, right? Not even profitable. If you're trading a model profitably and you're doing what you need to do and you have the market experience and you're taking good trades, you have good psychology, you're sticking with the process of learning the model, right? And the model's consistently working out, you're trading it well, you're taking some good wins, right? You're pretty consistent week to week to week, maybe even month to month. When you let one loss, right, take over, it can ruin months of progress. It can literally ruin months of progress. Within one day, months of progress gone. So when you take a loss, a statistical loss, and you move on with your day, you look at it and you're like, bro, I really did not lose that much. I didn't lose really anything from this. Okay? I genuinely just took a loss, and I was able to learn from it, most likely, and I can move on to the next day and probably take a win. Probably take a win because my mental will be better, right? I'll be okay because I'm like, you know what? I didn't crash out yesterday. I control myself. I know that today if I take a loss somehow, I'll still have the control to not take another trade and crash out. And then, obviously, over time, the statistics are going to play out. In the grand scheme of things, one loss is nothing, right? One loss that you took 3 weeks ago, does it really matter right now? Probably not. Probably not. You don't even think about that loss that you took 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Okay? Same thing. So going into the pretty much the second part, become happy that you were able to take a good loss. This was a loss, a big lesson for me. Trading all-time highs, bro. We swept all-time highs in this candle right here. Okay, we tapped into this gap and got a really nice bullish reaction out of it. So this is a little long I took. What was wrong with this long was that we didn't have a very deep retrace. When we sweep all-time highs and we immediately start to push back lower and a retrace, we can't have a tiny retrace like this. We actually need to have like a beefy, good retrace. So what happened? I got stopped out, right? Price ran down, respected this gap. And what did I do right after that? I entered this on a paper account, right? And took this double on my paper. I entered this perfect. This is a perfect setup, or A+ setup. Beautiful trade. We got that deep retrace, respected this 5-minute gap as well as this fat 1-minute gap. And we inverse these gaps right here, as well as we reacted off this 1-minute gap. There's just so many confluences. Entered right there on my paper account, went break even at this high when we closed above it, and ran higher. It's that simple. I was able to detach my feelings away from the current feeling of, oh, that sucks, I lost, to the fact that I was able to actually learn something significant from this loss that I can improve from and that I can apply going into tomorrow and the next day and the next day, right? So hopefully y'all are able to actually get a grasp of how you can take losses correctly and the mental frameworks of each situation so that going forth, y'all can take better trades. And when y'all lose, y'all are able to hopefully not crash out, realize the cons from crashing out, and just moving on with your day and waiting for the next day, right? Waiting for the next day. So appreciate y'all boys. If y'all want to join the Discord, it'll be left down in the description. But other than that, I will see y'all boys. I don't even know, bro. I'm low-key just enjoying taking a break from YouTube, 75 hard, every single day, bro. It's literally been every single day for over 75 days. Spread the word, which is very, very important to me. So I'm glad I did that. But now I'm really focusing on quality, as y'all can see. Focusing on some quality. So this video is going to be really, really good for y'all boys. Yeah, so let me know how y'all feel about this video. And we may make some more. So we'll see. But other than that, I'll see y'all boys next video. Peace out.